Hello, welcome, guys. We are getting and counting down and getting ready for the qualifying hour for the Silverstone British Grand Prix. We had the sprint race, we had sprint qualifying. Antonelli won out there. Can he take pole position for the main race? It's going to be a big one. Can George Russell bounce back? Max Verstappen was qualifying in third. Didn't have a great sprint. Can they get on top of their car for this hour? The McLarens looked absolutely brilliant in the sprint race. Lando Norris, after fixing his brake issues, looks like a man possessed at the moment, doesn't he? So we'll see how that goes. You might cut off now because I think my internet is just playing up. Well, we'll be back though. Let me see how we sorted. Are we good? Just bear with me 1 second, guys. It's one thing, something else, isn't it? Apologies, guys. A few of you watching, and this is not good, is it? I'm sure it'll fix itself. We'll get the timings up for you as well. Not sure what's going on with this. Is the feed better? Unfortunately, at the moment, the oh, what a silly guy. What am I doing? Oh, Jimmy Phoenix, you made it. You stayed up. Primcat, hello. I'm hoping this is better. Am I still shocking? Right, guys, is this any better? Are we still really shaky at the moment? It's showing that I've got good stream health, apparently, whatever that means. But my comments section is not working. Apologies, guys. I don't know if this is coming through as it's still very bitty. I might just be back on in a minute. Everything will go down. We'll come back on. I don't know what's happening with this one, but we'll figure it out. I can't figure out why suddenly my yeah, that's me, but on a different on a different account. Why are you not liking it? We're sorted. There we go. Apologies for that, guys. Bit of messing. Got there in the end. Four minutes to go. Crucial quality. You guys have made it. Primcat, Kimi Phoenix. You guys are staying up late, aren't you, for this one? Well done. Should be a cracking qualifying session. Who we got? For my predictions, I have for this one Antonelli, Verstappen, and Russell for 1, 2, and 3. If you got in there, we've got Antonelli. Primcat's going with Antonelli. Pedal to the metal, sticking with Lewis Hamilton. That's a plan, isn't it? That's how you do it. Kimi Phoenix, who are we going for? What did you make of the sprint one? A lot of talk about this non-racing overtaking, non-overtaking passing. I think that was a big one. What's actually really interesting, and it's shown, is and I hope they do it or they show it this time around. They didn't actually show Lewis Hamilton's full pole lap after the sprint. And is that just what we've always seen? They're trying to hide the fact of how bad it is with the clipping and all the hammering they got with that, because they were very sensitive to that, weren't they? The FOM, FIA, F1 sort of cutting comments of sort of people that were slating it and hammering it. So we'll see. Fair enough, Kimmy. I'll call you Kimmy from now on. Kimmy's going for Antonelli. We've got 2 Antonelli and a Lewis. I think it'll be Antonelli. He's just on it, absolutely on it at the moment, isn't he? George Russell scratching his head. He's probably thinking, how's his kid rocked up, and absolutely dominated it. But yeah, back to the pole lap thing. Yeah, let's hope they actually show the full lap, whoever makes pole position, because I'd like to see the level of super clipping and harvesting, because I think a lot of the overtakes within that sprint race were battery battles rather than just pure racing battles. That was clear because some of the moves, Antonelli on Lewis just breezed past. Russell on Verstappen, the same. The battle with Norris and I think with George for a part as well was pretty much the same as well, wasn't it? So we'll see what happens. And it's clear, though, that Mercedes dominates the battery battle. It's not the ICE, the combustion engine part of this formula. That's the key difference, is where Mercedes are top dog. And so I think that's what's really the big difference here. And we've seen that play out in the end. But also, it wasn't just that. They were able to manage their tyres better. Max Verstappen had a very good sprint battle, didn't he, would say, at parts. Started in P3 with a brilliant lap in qualifying. Wasn't kind of expecting to be there, but he just said in the end it was the deg that cost him in the end, and battery power was a big difference for him that cost him and dropped him back. Finished 6th or 7th in the end, but it's I think it was still a good race. The battery didn't ruin it. I think they ruined some parts of the overtaking. Especially for me, there wasn't the same excitement, was it, when Kimi Antonelli got Lewis? It was like, oh, he's passed him. But it was still a good race. There was still some really, really good action, and we can't take away from that. So we'll see. It's a long race tomorrow. We'll see how the strategies on battery attacks will work. I think the battery mapping, you could see the strategists and the engineers really on it through sprint race and giving different tactics and checking out how everybody's using their battery power in what parts of the circuit and where it's best to use it. So something to watch out for tomorrow. But yeah, Max was high deg, which really explained him dropping back in the sprint race. Nothing came of the Hadjar and Lawson incident. That went to the stewards. Liam Lawson keeps his P8. They said it was kind of just about fair on that one. We've got 6 seconds to the start of Q1, and we've got the 2 Haas going out very quickly. And from my camera, I can't even tell what car that is right out of the front. Is it a Haas that's gone out first? It looks like it. We've got the Williams, 2 Haas and a Williams. No, it can't be the 2 Haas. We've got Williams and then 2 Haas. I don't know what the first 2 cars were, to be fair. I don't know if it's the picture on it. But yeah, it should be a good one. Looking forward to this. As always, Q3 is where it all comes to life, doesn't it? But will be in for a surprise. Will Lance Stroll out-qualify Fernando Alonso? What was most disappointing was the Williams in the race, weren't they? They out-qualified the 2 Haas and then finished behind them. Got a lot of work to do, haven't they? There's a few teams like that, aren't there? That just you think they need to make some big steps. You'd almost feel sorry for them. The mechanics have worked hard and done all that sort of stuff, and then you get to the track, and you look at it, and everybody's like people like me that don't. I'm not engineers, just sit there back looking at them thinking, you're rubbish. Not that they probably pay much attention to anybody be like me, but still, there'll be others that they probably do pay attention to. Let's see if the Ferraris, and especially Lewis, can do something. Coming out very slowly, Lewis, protecting these tyres. He's on the softs. Williams will come good again. I hope so, for their sake, and for Carlos Sainz as well, to be fair. He's gone there with the hopes of them, as we're on board with Carlos, as we speak about him. He's gone there with promised to be looking forward. And, well, actually, last season, and he's absolutely ruined his first run, isn't it? Front tyres just locked up. They are probably not right at the moment, but he's gone there with the hope and a promise, and probably was. I mean, I don't know if he'd still have been disappointed if they were 4th, 5th best teams behind the top 4. But the fact is that they're now right at the back. It's really not the way that they wanted to be, and they did kind of hype up this season a lot, didn't they? So we'll see what Carlos does. I think there'll be a lot of movement in the driver market at the moment. We'll see how it pans out, though. Esteban Ocon, more rumours of his seat. Will he keep it at the Haas? Has he done enough? He's not done enough so far this season, has he? He's been struggling. There's no two ways about that. He's not got the race pace that we know. And in qualifying, he's had some promising sessions, but others not so great. Where will he go? What seat will he take? Apparently, Red Bull are keeping an eye on Liam Lawson. It was Lauren McKees that signed Ollie Berman, who was saying earlier, up to the Ferrari drivers program. He knows him well, and so apparently they're keeping an eye on him. But Isaac Hadjar's doing a pretty solid job. Where do you put him? Who do you place him ahead of at the moment? Liam Lawson's stepped up. Massive vibrations on the brakes. Charles Leclerc still not happy with his brakes. Actually, something that I need to follow up. I've not looked at again is whether he's still using Carbon Industry or Brembo, back to Brembo, which he wasn't particularly happy with. Esteban will get kicked. Yeah, it looks like that's the way it's heading, doesn't it? But where or who takes his seat? Can Haas hold on to Ollie? I think Haas have got a bit of a problem now, aren't they? Because they're almost like they're a seat you want to go to get into Formula One. You don't want to stay there. So, I mean, I guess they're pretty happy with that. They'll be pretty happy with keeping Ollie Berman as long as they can, because he's a good driver. Whether he can do enough, they're just not upgrading enough. It's been issues that they've had for some time, and it's just a setup of the team, isn't it? They don't really produce parts, they buy parts. Everybody else sort of does the work for them. A lot of work with Ferrari and a lot of parts come from them. So they're never going to be, I mean, as good as you're going to get is be like high midfields, picking up the odd points. Primcat, they'll keep Ollie. They wouldn't change both drivers. They wouldn't want to change both drivers. There's no two ways about that. But if SD goes and there's an opening for Ollie at the top team, I don't think they can really hold him back. I think a lot will depend on what, if anything, Max does. George Russell saying, I'm going to be at Mercedes next year again. Rumours that Lewis is going to stay with Ferrari for 27. So that's another seat gone. So Mercedes aren't going to kick Antonelli at this rate. I think if it's going to be one of the two for Max, it'll be George that makes way. But if he's confident he's got that seat, then something that's not been fully confirmed just yet. Max is probably just wanting the best car, when rightly so, if you're in his position and you're a great champion. Yeah, Kimmy agrees with you, Primcat. I would agree with you in the sense of they don't want to do that, but they might not have a choice as well, where I'm thinking on it, on the lines of if Ollie goes and if there's an opportunity, I don't think they can hold him back, especially if there's an opportunity in the top 4 teams, any one of them. But where it'll be the George will stay at Mercedes. Yeah, he's confident he'll stay at Mercedes. I mean, if he just keeps getting a little humiliated like he is by Kimi at the moment, then will Mercedes, if there's an opportunity to get Max, a real opportunity to get Max, will they go for him? But would you want that? Probably, actually. You'd probably want to put Kimi up against a multiple world champion, see what he's really got. George has spun. Oh, Q1. He's in the barrier. George Russell. He's off turn 7. Oh, we were just talking about George. He's moving. He's moving. He's got to do something. Kimi's running. Oh, he looks like he's running again, George Russell. He's not out. What's he done there? Antonelli top 3. George is to Kimi what Valtteri was to Lewis. It looks like that way. It's gone that way, hasn't it, Kimi? But George has got away with a broken wing there. Oof. But he's put himself under pressure to get a lap. Has he done a lap? He hasn't done a lap. He's not done a lap. What's happened here? Oh, he's just ran wide. Understeered off. I mean, it's only a smallish tap. That's so strange. Unless his front wings failed. The front end of the Aston Martin is not looking good on that Merc, is it? His front wing is broken. Yeah, it is crumpled a little against the barrier. Was that a bit too obvious, the celebration of George being out? Oh, it was almost perfect, that for Kimi Antonelli, wasn't it? Run away, get the win. George at the back. What's he going to get at best? 6th, 5th, 6th? Probably from the back. But he's lived to fight another day. That's the scare. That's not the scare you want. Not a good start to Q1. That's going to be, more doubt in the back of George's mind after that one. So we'll see what happens with it. Arvid, 4th. Good lap from Arvid Lindblad. The Racing Bulls do look good, don't they? Russell is probably glad we've not got ground effect cars, because the underneath of that car would have been absolutely dead, wouldn't it? And then he might well have been out in qualifying. Blue uniforms just for this race weekend, pedal. They're it's a special that they're doing in honor of some truck that used to carry cars. I did read it somewhere, I promise. But that's what it's about. Blue Lagoon, I think it's called. Tribute to Williams. We'll feel sorry for you. Tribute to the Williams fans that have come to the British Grand Prix. Cheer them up. The Blues at the front. Not quite the blue that they'd hoped for or want, though, I guess. But Yeah, tribute to Blue Lagoon, a transporter or some sort, something like that. Honor of a truck. He just strange as it sounds. Apparently, that's what it was. Liam P5 Racing Bulls are looking strong, aren't they? Russell is back. 5 minutes. He'll be hoping. Is it a pressure lap? I mean, it's to go out in Q1 nowadays. You've got to have an absolute stinker. It is literally just crash because you've got such a buffer. I mean, it needs to be within a second and a half of pole lap. When you're front runner, you're into Q1. Very weird. Never locked up there. Yeah, exactly, Kimmy. I'm pretty sure, unless I've got that very wrong, you can let me know in the comments later or something. Slaughter me tomorrow. I'll lose all my subscribers because I thought they'd honoured a truck, but I'm pretty sure it is. Like, what kind of fool are we watching? 4 minutes 50 to go. Everybody pretty much now in the pits, aren't they? They're not going to do another lap. They don't need to in Q1. Unless you obviously Bortoleto and Russell. What's happened to Bortoleto? He's not done a lap. Alex Albon's done a good lap. He's 1.1 off Charles Leclerc, who leads at the moment. It's Ferrari 1 and 2. Another lockup for George Russell. I mean, really, he just needs to bring it home, doesn't he now, George? Really? Just get out of this session and just... You don't need to be on... Oh, he's a 10th down on Colapinto's time in Sector 1. No, it can't be... He can't go out here, George. He cannot go out here. This will be a huge shock. I mean, it's such a massive... Like I said, but he's a 10th down on Colapinto in Sector 1. There's no way that can be... Unless he's got some serious damage underneath that car. Oh, yeah, there we go. Sector 3. Calm down. Sector 2. I choose to believe it's true. It'll be better than the truck. The Blue Lagoon truck. Is that still a thing, Thomas the Tank Engine? It used to be a huge Thomas and James. Absolutely still love it. I don't see kids watching it nowadays. Oscar going the lap. What's happened to Gabby, anybody? Have I completely missed it? He's not done no time and he's still in the pits. 2 minutes to go. Has he got... He must have a car problem. He must have a car... Still big in Oz, is it? I've not really seen the kids sort of go with Thomas. It's an absolute classic, though. Antonelli doing another run, as is Max Verstappen. He must be on used softs. Is he just trying to figure something out? He's miles away. The two Red Bulls are coming fast. Max Verstappen, Isaac Hadjar with a purple middle sector. Max had a comfortable final corner. Max P2, Hadjar P1. Faster. Welcome back, Isaac Hadjar, for this weekend. He was a bit off it in the race. He should have been in a 7th, 8th, comfortably, isn't he? Mixing it with Charles Leclerc, probably. He's on an out lap. Yeah, I'm not. He's shown his on the timings. It's shown he's done 2 laps, so he was obviously gone an out and an in and never made it back out again. Oh no, he's done a final sector 3 now. He's out. He is out. He's trying. He's out. Yeah, he's just done a sector 3 and he's gone up to a lap 3. So he started a fastest lap or an out lap as Gabby Bortoleto. I'd like to keep an eye on Gabby, actually. We're watching Pierre Gasly at the moment. He's, P12 should get through. It's really a bottom between the Haas and the Williams. Alex is ahead of the 2 Williams now. Carlos Sainz behind the 2 Haas. It's Colapinto that's the big one, and Bortoleto, the 2 actually that look like they're under pressure in Q1. Q1 is so we're almost guaranteed who's going out. It's put a half decent lap in and you're through. Bottas P17th. Outqualified Sergio Perez as things stand. Go on, Valtteri. Carlos Sainz. The clock counts down to 0. We've still got a few people on a lap. Gabby's on a lap. He's on a good enough lap. Gets up to P12. Gabby Bortoleto. He's out. Where we are. Lawson P2. Liam Lawson, lad. Nearly like front running lap. The track is ramping up, isn't it? Fernando, he's out qualified by his teammate. It's happened again. It was a couple of races ago that Lance Stroll out qualified Fernando Alonso. It was the first time in 40 plus races, and now he's done it again. Sergio Perez, P20. I do like the new look on this Cadillac. Happy 4th of July to whoever celebrates. But yes, Fernando Alonso last, Sergio Perez, P20, was Lance Stroll, 21. Stroll out qualifies. Big news for him in the Aston Martin garage. Could be something to be happy about. Sergio Perez, P20. Franco Colapinto out in P19. What has happened to him? What's happened to him is the back of the field have actually really closed up. They needed to do, it's a 30.6 to get in, and Ocon did a 30.6. Bottas a 31.2, so he's 6/10? That's a lot closer than we've seen Tier 3 F1 get to Tier 2 F1. Happy final birthday. I missed. Oh, he's completely lost it. Oh, that explains what happened to Franco Colapinto. Big mistake. Wasn't sure what's happened and weren't sure if it's Hadjar tops it. What a lap. So it is Alonso, Stroll, Perez, Colapinto, Bottas, and Ocon. Well done to Ollie Berman and Alex Albon. The 2 Williams squeezed through. Hadjar 1, Lawson 2. If we can get that, what a shock that would be. What a shock that would be. It's done well. Apparently the track wrapped up. It did show with some of the guys going really quick. I mean, Nico Hulkenberg with a P4 lap is pretty impressive. I mean, it's about 2.5 tenths off fastest, but they're mixing it with the big boys when it's... Norris was out there, didn't do a lap at the end, finished P11, made a mistake on his lap. So either you were winning or you were bidding. It was that kind of final Q1 sector session. Well, I started saying that one is Q1 is normally pretty straightforward. We know who's going out. We got a surprise. Franco Colapinto out. I mean, otherwise it is the bottom 5 as usual, but still. The Hulk can be... He's one of them guys, and he's reminded me a bit like Fernando Alonso over the last few years, that he's just ended up in the wrong place at the wrong time. It's just hard luck. Fernando Alonso left McLaren when they were absolutely dog shite. And then what happened to McLaren? What happened to that Honda engine? It went literally the best. And he's done that just too soon, probably. The only place he probably left at the right time was Ferrari, isn't it? Because they have had some highs, but not really gone to championship level performance cars. But for a Fernando to be at McLaren and they, you know, went on to win championship, he'd be kicking himself with that one. There's no two ways about it. And Hulkenberg has been the same. I don't think he's had the opportunity. I think that's his big problem. He's never got the chance in a big team, which is surprising because he's been really, really highly rated. And I don't understand why he never got it. He was at Renault, wasn't he? And that was his sort of as high up as a top manufacturing team as Nico Hulkenberg got. And it's not quite happened for him. It's a little bit disappointing. He's almost a guy of what could, should have been. How great really is he, was he? Because he's really highly rated amongst his peers, especially the ones that were racing and growing up through the junior formulas through time with him. He was saying he was probably the best. And it doesn't always work that way, does it? You can be the best, and if you don't get the opportunity or the right opportunity at the right time, you never really get to show it because, well, someone else is doing it, aren't they? And there's not an awful lot to split between these drivers nowadays, is it? He's always been in teammate equal to or number 2 to his teammate. Renault, was it him and Ricardo together? That's the only time where he just wasn't quick enough at times, though, was he? That's why he was number 2. Otherwise, I'm not sure about. I just don't think he's ever had the car to show what he's really made of. We've got an onboard of George Russell. Anthony Davidson is saying it's the wind that was his problem. Not really sure there. He was number 1 to Magnussen. Yeah. Them two had a great battle, weren't they? Kevin Magnussen, have you seen his interview or his issue with the NASCAR driver where he just said, fuck off. Get out of my face. I'm not interested with your... I absolutely love that about Kevin Magnussen, is it? There's no BS. The mad one was his Haas explosion, wasn't it? We've seen it on the Drive to Survive where he slams Gunter Steiner's door. Don't fuck smash my door. Learning his lesson. Well, he's obviously patched up. He came back, didn't he, to the Haas team after that? Did Kevin Magnussen? Yeah, something. Watch it, Kim Phoenix. It did play the rounds on Twitter. Kevin Magnussen with kicking off with a NASCAR driver. He wasn't very happy with him, and he just sort of said, "You drove me off the track," and he goes, "Well, you just got what you deserved." This is where you go racing, and you're going to get payback sometimes. And he's just a nonchalant, not bothered Kevin Magnussen as we kind of know him in F1, which is really funny to see. Oh, we're showing Esteban Ocon. Yeah, yellow flag. Yellow flag for Esteban Ocon, apparently. Possible. Here we go. We're listening from Moscow. Franco spun out. Single yellow and, well, hasn't got the luxury of George Russell that we've seen in Austria, where he can have a big lift and still get through, has he? Esteban Ocon. Car is not quite there. Wonder when we'll see some upgrades in this Haas team. They need a few. Yeah, watch it. Pedals. It's a good one, isn't it? It's Kevin. It's Kevin all over. We'll wonder who will be the next big man to go out. That's the big question, isn't it? Well, Q1 I expected usual suspects. We didn't quite get that, did we? Lance Stroll. Oh, they're just showing did Gasly impede Lance Stroll? Didn't quite look like it to me. MB saying he did. It was in the way to take the most open line. It's going to be looked at by the stewards after qualifying. So the asterisk on Pierre Gasly, something to watch out for wherever he qualifies. He might not keep that space on the grid. The McLaren, they're just showing it in the garage, looks really white in the garage, but I'm pretty sure it's like a matte chrome. It looked like that in the images that they've shown. But they did that to us, I think, was it car launch? I think on the Halo, they shown what looked like a chrome, and then it was actually just a white. So something to, I don't know, you need a proper eye test on that one, don't you? Like, actually see it. Investigation, Ocon, yellow flag infringement. Sounded like he lifted a little bit. He said he lifted. I mean, he'd be disappointed if he gets a penalty after saying he's lifted. And then that sees him out in Q1. And he gets a penalty as well, just to add to salt to the wounds, isn't it? This is not 3 minutes. Still brushing up the track. Slight delay for Q2 at the moment. We've got, they're showing us the track side as the fans get busy. We've seen this last time in Q1 and 2, wasn't it? I think the Mercedes, they didn't look like they were at the party. We've seen it here again. P8 and P10 for both Mercedes drivers. I think he lifted, but too late. He was already at the yellow. Yeah, there was almost like a secondary lift. It's almost just, as long as he can show he was. I think that's the issue now, isn't it? How much, what lift? If you can show a lift, where was the lift exactly? A lot that they leave open up, don't they, for sort of a lot of discretion in that. I mean, it probably just depends on the steward on the day of where and how they lifted and were they in control. The fact that he didn't spin shows you were in control. So, and there was some sort of lift. Oh, you see the bright yellow Lando stand? Car 11 time will be reinstated. A 31.451. He stays in the position. Yeah, that's why you're right, Kimmy. I don't understand why they don't. I don't understand why they don't just give a penalty there, and then why does it need to be investigated after the stewards? The amount of data that they have, they can see clearly if there was a lift. They know exactly what they're looking for. Just get on with it. I hate this sort of changing results after the race. They have got better at it. We seen that in Austria, didn't we? Especially with the George Russell thing. It was almost they've checked it and got rid of it at podium ceremony. They'd normally do that for top 3. Other positions they don't tend to be too bothered about. Is that just because people aren't really bothered? But you've got fans of that driver that just kind of want to know the result, don't they? Sorry, Dominate. It is Dominate. Proper dumb prim cat. I get it. I don't so understand it. Doesn't make. Really don't get it. Let's see where Hulkenberg can qualify. He's had a good, goes well around here, didn't he? Got his first podium last time around. I'd be happy with that. If he can get into Q3, I think he'll be pretty pleased. Audi had bought an upgrade as well, but we've not quite seen the benefit of it just yet. Are they slightly closer? I'm not so sure. Yeah, I agree, Kimmy. Just get on with it and make a decision. They've done that as well in race, where they've said we'll investigate this after the race. I know you've got stuff that you're checking and other jobs you're doing mid-race, but some of the decisions are straightforward. Just get on with it. If you got it wrong, you got it wrong. It's kind of like the referee's decision, isn't it, in football? Now we've got all the VAR and all that nonsense, I guess. But talking of football, you guys did well yesterday against Egypt. Just missed out on penalties. I don't know how it went down there, but you should be pretty proud of themselves, of the football team. Talking football now, but the Aussies did really well. Felt sorry for the young 16, 17-year-old. Stepped up and missed right at the end. I think some of the senior team should have taken a bit more responsibility on that one, but did we play? Nothing to crow about here, apparently. Yes, you were playing against Egypt, knockout round 32. And it was, I think you were 1 down, got it back to 1-1, went all the way to extra time. I watched it. It was crowing about in my house. Watching the penalties on the edge of the seat, to be honest, late last night here. And yeah, you missed a couple of penalties. First up, you missed the first penalty and then missed another one. As a 6, 17, 18-year-old stepped up for it with a pressure penalty and he didn't take it well. Egypt won, unfortunately. You're out. The Aussie team is out, heading back to Australia, I guess. But they've done well. A really good result, I thought, for a team that's not really, or a country that's not really all about football. Many other sports there, aren't they, before football? But that's a pretty solid result to get into the knockouts and to take Egypt, who are a football team, football nation, all the way to penalties. You can be pretty happy with that. Well, in my opinion, you can be happy with that. I would be happy with that if I was an Oz player. Max. Q2 gets underway. Ooh, that looks snaky at the back of that Red Bull. Max Verstappen is giving it full beans. Purple sector. Isaac is up. 10th up on Max Verstappen is Isaac Hadjar. Come on, Isaac. Show him who's boss. There's only one boss in the Red Bull team, but he can, for this session, put his chest out with a lap. 10th and 10th up. Good lap from Isaac Hadjar there. He'd be happy with that. Charles Leclerc, he has not looked good, has he? He was a bit underwhelming in the sprint race for me. I expected a little bit more from him. I'm not sure what's gone on. I know he's not happy with the brakes, but it just seems, I mean, he's a 10th up. That car in Lewis's hands is a completely different dog. And I know these regulations are crippling what Charles Leclerc can do and the brilliance that he can pull out in qualifying. And is that really what's hurting him? Because qualifying's still big. It's despite these regulations and overtaking, we're still seeing what we're seeing in last year, didn't we? Where qualifying played a huge part in how well or bad your race was, where you were, even though there was some overtaking, and there's a lot of overtaking here, but it's does set things up. Lewis, purple middle sector. Lindblad, fastest first sector. Go on, Arvid. Leclerc, he was nowhere near. I think Max did that as well. If they come around that final corner, Lewis fastest. 128, Lewis Hamilton. 29.0 for Charles Leclerc. Lindblad, P5. Mate, I had no response from the pedal. Okay, copy, we can go again. Kimi Antonelli, that is. He's not happy with something. Piastri looks right on the edge, 7th. Look very snaky at the back. George Russell with a fastest middle sector. $35.76. Russell second. 128.9. Close between the Ferraris and Mercedes again. Let's see what Kimi Antonelli can. Antonelli's going for a second lap. Well, we'll see how this one rolls for him now. Let's see how his tyres hang on. This is going to be interesting from Kimi Antonelli. He's pushing. Antonelli looks like a mistake. Oh, yeah, he's run wide. Struggling on the brakes a little bit, aren't they, the Mercedes? We've seen George and now Kimi. Let's see, Sector 1. Kimi Antonelli, where are you on my sector times? He's done a 28.6. He's a 10th off. He's a 10th off in Sector 1 to where he's 2/10ths off George Russell. Let's see what he can do with the middle sector. It's a shame we weren't on board through Magazine, Begets and Chapel for Kimi Antonelli. 6/10ths up. Antonelli 35.8, similar to what Lewis did, but a 10th down on his teammate. I mean, he's looking at top 3 right now, unless he'd pulled something special out on the back of the final lap. I think it's just to get it on the board, isn't it? I mean, we're not looking at Q3 and pole position problems at the moment. Yeah, P3. I mean, he's done a 29.0. He's a 10th behind, and you can tell that's a banker. Kimi's got this in the pocket. If he can just get the lap together, and that's all it comes down to. He's so quick in these cars, these versions of it. He's absolutely brilliant. Russell asking, can you get the spare seat? Has he had a cold brown? He wants to change his seat. Let's see. We've not seen that too often, have we? Well, we've not heard of it too often, to be fair. They would want to change seats. They like snuggle. Piastri have zero grip. It looked like he had zero grip, but the rear end of his car was sliding as he was coming out of that rear corner. He looked so snaky. We're watching it come out. Yeah, one, again, 2, 3, 4 snaps. 4 snaps to get that rear just to in. So as it stands, 2 Ferraris, 2 Mercedes, and then the 2 Red Bulls, and then the Racing Bulls. Oscar at the moment is looking like he needs to put in a lap, doesn't he? We've got a lone Verstappen and Hadjar out on track. They're coming out early for their second runs in Q2. Just want clear air. Makes sense. Let's see what Max has got. I like this livery and this color of the blue on the Red Bull. It looks so nice under the sun. Probably one of the nicest Red Bulls I've seen. I know they pretty much standard with their livery, but and I think it didn't really help when it was a darker blue. This sort of slightly brighter blue on this Red Bull looks nice. Tenth up, Max in sector 1 on Lewis. Not the fastest, but very close to the fastest. Arvid Limblad still got the fastest sector 1. He must have been mega through there. I mean, it's only by 2,000s, but it's, oh, well, no, 60,000s, half a tenth. Another 10th up. He's kept the pace as Max Verstappen, 35.8, 35.8, 6.6. We're coming up to the line. P5. He lost a bit of time in the final sector, did Max Verstappen. 24.6 he did to Lewis, doing a 24.4. So as it stands at the moment, we've got a Racing Bulls with the fastest first sector, a Mercedes with the fastest middle sector, and a Ferrari with Lewis Hamilton with the fastest final sector. It was George Russell in the Mercedes that's got the fastest middle sector. Yeah, I agree with you, Pedals. It's this is what a disaster, unbelievable. Max Verstappen, it was looking well at sector 1 and 2. Unless he's just lost all power going into that final part. I'm not so sure. Really not sure about that. Oscar. This is a crucial lap. He can't afford to make a mistake on this one because he can see himself going out. And actually, it's pretty close behind for a tenth and a half. He's, you know, and Gasly can beat him to it. Well, I mean, at the moment, he needs to make up. But he's Bortoletto with a 29.9. Needs a solid lap. Nick Hulkenberg, if he can pull a lap together, means that Oscar needs to do well. Norris up as well. McLarens are white as a special Silverstone livery in a throwback to 1966 McLaren, where they threw on a green strip onto the car because they couldn't afford the paint. Bruce McLaren back in the days. And so that's the story on the Aston Martin knows McLaren. So that's that one. Primcat. I wish it was more chrome. It's a sign it's coming home. Welcome to the comments, Benji. Coming home where? Where are you from? Which one? Which home are we talking? We've got a few different ones. Worldwide YouTube. We've got to be more specific on that. That's the way it should be. We connect everything. Everyone. Lawson, that's not a lap, is it? I mean, he's only half a tenth of McLaren, so it's pretty solid. Charles, fastest. Lewis, no. 2 tenths down on Charles Leclerc. Welcome to the party, Charles. Ollie is out. I don't think, he's not going for another one. Carlos, what have you got? 14th. Alex, can he do something? What's he got? Bortoletto, P11. Not a great middle sector. Oh! 32 thousandths of a second. 32 thousandths of a second. Bortoletto nearly squeezing into Q3. I think that's the top. Hulkenberg, 12th. It's a 2 Audis just outside of the top 10. Antonelli is quickest. He's back again. Go on, Kimi. A 28.4. Gasly splits the 2 Audis. So it's the 2 Williams again. Carlos Sainz beats Alex Albon this time around. Then Ollie Berman 14th. Hulkenberg 13th. Gasly 12th. And Bortoletto 11th. It's it's the top 4 and the Racing Bulls that are top 10 dogs at the moment. I mean, it was very close between Bortoletto and Liam Lawson. Half was he did a 0.963 behind, and 0.03, should I say? Sainz said it's a horrible lap. I mean, I think he might have been looking to beat Ollie Berman there, probably Carlos Sainz. Another solid job from Ollie. Out-qualifies his teammate by a couple of places again. Thank you, Benji. Join along. Sheffield, England, Sheffield. Nice. It's coming home. Could be. Tough match against Mexico next, though. Away in Mexico at their home ground, where they've lost 2 in the last 89. Tough game, and England haven't really turned up apart from Bellingham and Harry Kane. So if they can have some change up in there, you got a good chance. Well, it looks like it's a fight between the Mercedes and Ferraris again. I think Kimi's shown with that lap he's got it in the bank. Thankfully, though, we get 2 runs in this qualifying session, is why Q3 for the main session is so good. Antonelli, I think it's got to be Kimi's. You can't count Lewis out. I don't think that was his best lap in Q2, but it doesn't need to be. It's what he can do in Q3. So I wouldn't count him out. Russell will be happier P4. He doesn't want to get in the mix with, or he doesn't want to be behind a Red Bull, does he, or a McLaren? Because that cost him positions higher up in the end. I think he would have, he's shown in sprint that had he had a better qualifying, he would have been, and probably a better start, he would have been on the podium and a 1, 2, 3. And in the race, it's longer. It's got more opportunity. I think the Mercedes are showing that with their battery, they've got a tenth and a half in their pocket, a couple of tenths at least. So we'll see. But it's getting closer up at the top. I mean, we were talking 3-4 tenths at times where someone got close to the Mercedes. We're now talking a tenth and a half, 2 tenths a lap. And so it's not insurmountable, which is positive. Bortoletto saying apologies. He said the car had more there, so top 10 was on for the Audis. I mean, you're going to say that. There's nothing in that, isn't it? A slight difference in the braking and you're in. Zach. Q3 is delayed, started 2 minutes. There's a new book out by Christian Horner, if you read books, called Drive. They're selling it here. It's £25. It's just coming out in October, if you're interested. F1 Talk. The Mercedes book is actually quite good. I did get that. I don't know what it's called, though. I've read some of it. If you're into F1 books. I'm not sure if you're a fan of Christian Horner either, actually. Like him or loathe him, he did a pretty spectacular job. Youngest F1 team principal and 14 championships and numerous race wins. He's built pretty good cars, a few of them. For a drinks company, they were pretty laughed at, weren't they, when they rocked up into Formula One with DC joining them as a team. The fun team in F1 as they started seem to have got more serious now. Oh, what a guy. All right, in there, Q. His book might be pretty spectacular then, isn't it? He's got longer to... Oh, maybe not, actually. He's got that's going to go in the public eye, isn't it? He might be a bit PC there. I love that comment. Yeah, I'm not sure you want a text from Christian, is it? Well, if you're a guy, probably different, but... Oh, that was a good one. But yeah, interesting. Be an interesting read, I'm sure. Oh, bit of a wait now before we get into the big one, Q3. I'm looking forward to this one now. Lindblad outqualified Lawson in Q2. I mean, not outqualified. Secret lives. What's with Hadj beating Vez so far today? I know it's only Q1 and Q2. Isaac Hadjar's on it, Benji. He's had moments where he's been brilliant. I think whatever he needed to fix in sprint, he's got on top of it, and he's clearly much happier with the car in qualifying. And he's beat Max again. You're right. I missed that one in the Q2, but it's good to see Max getting a run for his money. Hadjar's been massively impressive. At times, I just feel like he doesn't get the credit he deserves. I know that's just me, but everybody loves him, but they don't see him quite Max's level. And I know he's like shown he's not at Max's level. Very few drivers are, but he's can be, and he's still very young. Max came in and took a couple of seasons before he got to that special guy moment. I mean, his winning his first race in Red Bull sort of really propelled that and helped. But this Red Bull isn't the Red Bull that Max walked into. So we'll see. Yeah, absolutely. Max is on a different level. He's a different level to most, isn't he? But if you can be close to that different level, and if to beat that other level, and we'll see if you can do it when it counts for real, and I know we're talking Q1, Q2, then slouch, are you? You've got something about you, and I think that's what Isaac's proven. in the few races that he's had. Max is hating this car. I think he's going to hate Silverstone this weekend, isn't it? I think he's living with the fact that we're not going to see this version of the car again in Formula One. This is, you just got to put with this version for this season. And we won't see this because it's quite clear. We've seen it in this weekend, haven't we, with the battery racing. We'll see whether the FOM show the full qualifying lap after this. I'm really interested to see if they show that. Just because of, and I'm sure we'll get a few cutaways to long shots where super clipping will be at its worst. And so that's why he hates it. And a lot of fans hate it as well. And they keep talking about the overtaking. Some of it's just passing down the straight, not overtaking in the same sense. And I know people like definitions on overtaking, but for me, I think overtaking is I keep saying a proper move, but it's something you've really had to work at to get. A pass is the car's done the job for you, hasn't it, down the straight. Small difference, but there is a difference in my mind, at least. Oscar on a lap. It doesn't look... You can tell this McLaren, the years we've gone by, was you turn that wheel and it just went, did it? He's taken 2 or 3 bites to get into the corners here, Oscar Piastri in this McLaren. He's going to be a little bit down, isn't he? 28.4. That is a good sector 1 for him. Not great. Exit again. Pretty solid sector 1. He's got the time there. Let's see what Oscar can do. Sector 2. Nice swim. You can see him again. Fighting that a little bit. He's done I've lost him. A 36.3. Oh, it's a bit down, isn't it? The best was a 35.7 and 8. He's lost 0.6 in that middle sector to where the top guys are going to be. Yes, Arvid. He was ahead of Liam Lawson into Q3 as well. Ahead of him in Q2. As we see a Red Bull abort the lap. Charles Leclerc flying in the middle sector. Yeah, you can see lost 0.6. Did Piastri in the middle sector. Norris down on Max Verstappen, gone pole. Little bit of pace, but not enough. Where they lost that pace? Charles Leclerc, yeah, that's the kind of lap we were expecting. 28.6. Lewis, what can he do? Yeah, Lewis takes provisional pole. Kimi Antonelli with the fastest middle sector. Russell with the fastest first sector. Hadjar P3 ahead of Max Verstappen. He's done it again for now. Will we be in for a surprise? Kimi Antonelli 0.2 up on Lewis. Let's see what Russell can do. Second. That's where he needs to be. He's done it for now. The first time we've seen him with a 10th of Kimi Antonelli this weekend. Let's see. Kimi Antonelli has what? A 10th down on his best Kimi in sector 1. He did a perfect sector 2 and sector 3 was his personal best. The best was actually Lewis Hamilton, a 24.2 in the final sector. That we've seen that before from the Ferraris. They have the best sector 3 car. It's 1 and 2 normally where they're normally a little bit down. Let's see what's Lewis got. Oh, turn 3 Lewis. They're showing a replay. Not a great lap from him. The 2 Racing Bulls not done a lap. Lawson just did a reconnaissance lap effectively, didn't he? Just went around and straight into the pits. But Hughes only got a used set of, aren't they? They just got 1 set of tyres, the 2 Racing Bulls. 2/10. Can Ferrari find 2/10? They need at least a 10th and, well, just more than a 10th, and Lewis can get a P2. Split the two Mercedes. We'd like that for the racing. Kimi Antonelli will be hoping that that can happen, won't he? Because it'll help him in his championship with George Russell. Hadjar, what a lap. What happened to Max's lap? He's lost time in sector 3. 3/10 he's lost to Max Verstappen. They were both close, sector 1 and 2. Both Hadjar and Verstappen. There was nothing in it. Hadjar half a tenth up or just more than that in sector 1, and Max half a tenth up in sector 2 between the pair of them. It's sector 3 where he's lost nearly 2.5 tenths to his teammate. Max under, should we say pressure? But Hadjar stepped up, hasn't he? Really good qualifying so far. He needed that after not such a great sprint race, you've got to say. I'm looking at best times, sectors. There's not much between them. You're right. 4/10 in the sector so far. Max did have a scruffy final sector. He had a final sector that was slower than both McLarens. Max's final sector was equivalent to what Liam Lawson did on his best, so that's where Max has lost his time. So we'll see what he can do. 4 minutes. Just another minute before they go for the final run. This is where it gets big. They're just saying that Lewis's sprint quali time is enough to get him on pole position. Can he pull off another lap? Oh, that was close with a Racing Bull and McLaren. Got really close. That might be an unsafe release. Fine, hopefully, for someone in Racing Bulls. Lewis was near last over the line for sprint qualifying. He's at the back this time around. Kimi's, why am I first? Kimi Antonelli not happy. Yeah, I agree. Kim Priam. Unsafe release. Antonelli first. He wasn't very happy about that. You want to be literally last man over this. Have Mercedes cost Antonelli taking him out first? I mean, we've not even done the lap yet. It's possible. 2 minutes to go. So Antonelli will be first over the line. Yeah, Lindblad, unsafe release. We've got Lewis going slowly. Not to worry. Got me worried. But he'll be last over the line with, I think it's Max Verstappen that looked like it to me, that was behind him. So Lewis and then Max. So watch out for them to last over the line as we all get to watch Kimi. I think we tend to watch the first one run, don't we? Before the others. Is coming round to start his lap. This is a big one for Kimi Antonelli. He's got provisional pole in the bank. Can he stretch it? Let's see his mid. He had time to make up in his sector 1. If he's got it right, he should be about a 10th up on what his first flying lap time was, or his because he's got more in the pocket there. That's what he wants. Let's see. We're going to find out now. He's only half a tenth up. So he's not quite got down to the 28.2 yet. Norris has done a 28.4. That's his best sector one. Lindblad, 10th down. Just a 10th down, Arvid Lindblad on Antonelli. What a sector one, Arvid. He's been brilliant in that sector. Antonelli, a 10th up on himself. A personal best sector, 35.5. That's the fastest sector we've seen from anybody so far in Q3. He's setting the benchmark. He's going to be vulnerable looking back from there, so he's got to give it absolute everything. Oh, what a final sector! 24.2 from Antonelli. That's nearly Ferrari pace in that final sector. He's stretched it. He's 3/10 to George Russell. Perfect from Kimi Antonelli. Now going to be just sat waiting and praying. Oscar is Arvid. Oh, unlucky that. As a brilliant sector one from Arvid Lindblad. We see a sliding McLaren come around the final corner. P7. He can't beat Lando Norris. Norris done. Piastri done. Lawson doesn't beat his teammate. Arvid Lindblad, what a lap it looked like it. George Russell way down. That was a shocking lap from George Russell. Half a second down on his teammate. Max 7th. Charles Leclerc is pulling off a lap. Lewis not great in the middle sector. Second. He's done it. George Russell left himself open and he's got beaten to the front row. Lewis third. Yes. Come on. Antonelli will be very happy with that. Isaac, 5th. Top 5. He out-qualifies Max Verstappen. Isaac's been flying this session. Antonelli stretched the bar. He needed to because Charles Leclerc had beaten his pole time. What a lap from Charles Leclerc. Antonelli really needed that final sector. It was Ferrari-level final sector. It's not something we've seen from the Mercedes so far. Go on, Kimi. What a final sector. That stole it was. Didn't steal him. He's been absolutely brilliant this weekend. That's the kind of gap we've seen from him all qualifying session, all weekend. He is that edge above everybody at the moment. The little Italian is the new GOAT. He's your new GOAT. He's everybody's new GOAT. The little baby GOAT. P1 qualifying session, pole position for the main race. Kimi Antonelli's absolutely brilliant lap. Charles Leclerc has come out of nowhere a little bit with a brilliant lap. Absolutely brilliant lap from Charles Leclerc. It's his middle sector was, and his first sector actually was right on there. Was Charles Leclerc's almost level to Kimi Antonelli's. They've done exactly the same time, the 28.292. So it was sector 1 where Charles Leclerc really bridged that gap. Sector 2 was better, and his sector 3 was what is capable of that Ferrari, because Ferraris were the best in sector 3. Lewis Hamilton, P3, he'll be probably a little bit disappointed if he's been beaten by his teammate, who he's had the beating of all weekend. So he'll probably feel like there was a little bit more in it for Lewis Hamilton. But very, very happy for him. George Russell, he absolutely flopped it on the final sector. He had 2 poor middle sectors 1 and 2. He was down and finished his final lap half a second off Kimi Antonelli. So a shocker from George Russell at the end. Isaac Hadjar, what a lap, kid. What a lap. It's not often that we see someone beat Max Verstappen, who's absolutely a GOAT. And so to do that after a not so great sprint, really, really good to see Isaac Hadjar bounce back from that. That's a mentality monster we've seen since he's been in Formula One after that horrible Australian Grand Prix. He can turn it around. He's got the mentality to do it, and he's put himself in a really good position to have a great race tomorrow. George Russell will be hoping that Hadjar doesn't pass him tomorrow, but we've seen these Red Bulls not have the best start. Lando Norris in P6. He'll be disappointed because the McLarens look really strong in sprint race, and we've not seen that late pace over one lap. Will we see it again in the race? That's where they've come up special. Max Verstappen, P7, he'll be scratching his head. Where's that pace gone? He was P3, and he said he was just on the right side of the lap when it came to sprint pole. He said he could easily be in P6 or 7, and it's kind of where he is for main qualifying. Probably just didn't quite have enough in it. Expected Red Bulls to go better here. They haven't yet, but they've got a race tomorrow. They'll need some big changes for there. Oscar Piastri, P8. He'll be disappointed. A couple of tenths off Lando Norris. Kind of gone back to square Oscar, isn't it, where he's been for most of the season. We've seen a bit of recovery after a great Austrian Grand Prix drive for Oscar Piastri, but it's kind of reverted to type a little bit here. He'll be a little bit disappointed. Arvid Lindblad, P9, out-qualifies Liam Lawson. They've been touch and go between the pair. Arvid will be really happy to do that. I mean, Liam Lawson's lap at the end is, nearly 4.5 tenths faster, Arvid Lindblad, than Liam Lawson. So, great job from him. A great result for Ferrari. Yeah, absolutely right on that one, Kimi. Kimi is special for maybe next level, Primcat. Yeah. Agree with you. Norris will be frustrated at his home race. Yeah, but I think they've probably got a good race car. He's shown a good race car in the sprint, so I wouldn't write him off just yet. Be a great battle early doors, though, won't it? We've got the two normally fast-starting Ferraris. As we saw, it was a fast-starting McLarens who got absolute rocket ships off the start in the sprint. So the start tomorrow will be really interesting. It was actually both Ferraris, you've got to say, got poor starts in the sprint, not what we expected and not what they built that car for. So we'll see how that pans out. But what a qualifying session. We've got a great grid for the race again. Thankfully, the two Ferraris split the Mercedes of Kimi Antonelli and George Russell. We've got anything that can happen in the first corner. Absolute right pedals. Let's say Kimi. Kimi saying the last lap was very tidy. It came all together. Tricky with the wind. Very gusty and unpredictable. But he built his racing qualifying. This kid is brilliant at the moment. You want to keep your nose clean, don't you, in the first few corners here, pedals. You can definitely lose a race very early doors here in Silverstone, just the way the track flows. Cammy saying there was still some vibrations in the braking, but managed to find a solution. Buzzing, you can see him shaking his hand, Kimi Antonelli, with excitement. I love it. It's what you want to see, isn't it? Like proper, he's like he just wears his emotion, his joy right there. You can see it. It doesn't go straight into corporate mode. I love it, and I hope he keeps that. Charles, some good feeling, a lot of work to get the feeling back in the side. The car, first time he's had it back. A good thing. Charles, good step in the right direction. Absolutely brilliant. Charles saying he's picked bits out of everything, sort of come back to square and sort of questioned everything, and very happy with the P2. So, he had a lap for pole, didn't he? If Kimi didn't improve like he did, Charles Leclerc would have had it. Lewis P3. Lewis asked, is he satisfied? Of course not. Hashtag grateful to all his believers. Didn't have the pace of the Mercedes from Lewis. Slowly closing the gap. It's true, 10th and a half. The race is going to be the big one. Can they do it? Lewis saying that great to have both there. Whether they can keep up with Kimi, we'll see tomorrow. Can we get some mixed conditions? That'll throw a spanner in the works. I mean, Ferrari are in the opportunity where they can do something with strategy. The problem here, it's a one-stop, and we've seen that after the sprint, the tyres held on. 17 laps of a sprint on the medium, they pushed hard, and only Max was saying that he suffered deg enough where he was dropping places. I think with a little bit more management and with Red Bull, we see how well they get on top of their cars from sprint to the race. We've not seen it here this weekend, though. That's the top three and their conversations. Tune in tomorrow, guys, for the race watch-along. It should be a cracker. If you haven't hit the like button, please do that. Subscribe if you're new and enjoying the watch-along. That'd be massively appreciated. Thank you for everybody getting in the comments. Welcome, Benji, to the comment section. Nice to have you. Some new comments in there. Pedals, welcome. Kimmy Phoenix and Prim Cat, thank you so much for that. Kimmy watches way too much Conor Moore. Absolutely. Conor Moore is brilliant. He's doing a little bit of World Cup stuff at the moment, isn't he? So watch him. He has I don't know if you're into football, but he's got an interview with Rio Ferdinand. Really good to watch. So watch out for that. But yeah, there we have it. Qualifying done. Kimi Antonelli, the young Italian, the young little goat, baby goat, showing the way at the moment. He's got pure class. Can he do it again? He did it in sprint. He's put himself in the perfect position for the main race tomorrow. It should be an absolute cracker. We've got two Ferraris. Can they play some strategy game tomorrow? Charles Leclerc second, Lewis Hamilton third. George Russell will be hoping for some home luck to go his way, isn't it? He's P4 at the moment. Doesn't look like he's quite got the pace of Kimi again this weekend. Definitely not over one lap in the race. We'll see what happens. Isaac Hadjar with a brilliant P5 lap. I think he's got to be very, very happy with that. We'll see how that one goes. Tomorrow, Lando Norris, he'll be scratching his head a little bit, but they shown great race pace in the sprint, so don't count the Max out yet. Max P7, never count out this guy. He's an absolute goat as well. So we've got a cracking grid. Lindblad beats Lawson. Lots of talking points in this qualifying session. Gabi Bortoletto so close. So good to see the Audis tuning up, getting closer to the Racing Bulls as well. Alpine's second race weekend in a row where they've dropped back, and two power tracks, and we'd normally have said, oh, that's down to the Renault, but they've got the Mercedes engine in the back of that one. So something inherent when it comes to high-speed tracks. The Alpine doesn't quite like it. We've not seen the great rate of upgrades come to that car yet, and if they have, they've not worked, which has been a problem that Atmar Zafnauer, the previous Alpine manager, has said was one of their big problems. So some work to do for them. The Williams, small upgrades here, P15, 16. They're not out in Q3, so is that as happy as you can be? Who knows? Franco Colapinto will be disappointed. He went off with all over the place, didn't he? Did Franco Colapinto, so I'll be disappointed with that one. Sergio Perez has been beaten by Valtteri Bottas with a P18. He can be happier. Aston Martin's at the back, but it's a V for victory for Lance Stroll over his teammate Fernando Alonso. He's not had many of them to cheer about, not much to cheer about on their front. They are looking for a big upgrade that will come in Hungary. And interestingly enough, I mean, you never expected them to get straight into the top 10 in points, but Adrian was just saying we'll be happier if we just get into Q2. And which kind of shows, though, actually, it's a big task for them that, you know, they're 3 and a bit seconds back. You don't just find, despite suffering and bringing pretty much a whole new car, you don't always find 3 seconds. I mean, we might be in for a huge surprise. Let's see. But it's going to be a big one for them in Hungary. But there we have it. Join me for the watch along for the race tomorrow. Thank you, guys. Thank you for the comments. Stay safe. Lots of love. See you on the next one. Take care. Bye for now.